Hello, 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 and welcome, my Leo collective sun, moon, rising signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this new moon to full moon next, Aries to Libra, March to April 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very, very happy to be reading for you, as well as with an itch on my leg. I am also a Leo rising, so looking forward to seeing if anything pops up for me as well. If you are new to the channel, please do like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I just did a quick live stream video about unpinning from time, which means I'm pulling myself off my regular schedule, and I'll be working till probably 5 a.m. and sleeping till early in the afternoon. So hit the notification bell if you want to know when I've released my next video. That being said, also feel free to comment in the comment section below, and let me know if any of these puzzle pieces resonate for you moving forward, right? Like, these are slightly predictive in that a What Do I Need read is asking the divine through 7 different divination systems, 1 card each, so we're only doing 7 cards. It's not really a spread. I call it a card draw, right? Asking the divine, what do I need? Like, what do I need to know? What do I need to be aware of? You can pull a card a day and do that. It's better than where am I or what should I do? It's what do I need? It shows the divine you're willing to, be open to guidance and grace outside of the ordinary means, right? This in particular is dealing with this new moon in Aries, which is on a Tuesday, by the way. A new moon in Aries on a Tuesday. It happens so rarely. You only get one new moon in Aries a year, unless it's a weird thing where you get 2 in 1 year. But it's the first sign of the zodiac. It's ruled by Mars, which Tuesday is ruled by Mars, hence Mardi, right? Like Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. So it's a wonderful time to initiate anything, right? To do any kind of self-healing, self-improvement, any kind of magic or prayer or anything you want to do to improve or heal yourself. But we have to get through that dark moon in Pisces the 3 days before the new moon is dark moon. And in Pisces, I'm a Pisces moon, so I'm a little scared. I know I'll be fine. Well, I can cry my eyes out. There ain't nobody here. But another reason why it's probably wise for me to unpin from time. Go watch the live stream. It was a good one. And I think a lot of people are doing that and not realizing they're doing it, and it's something that you can do consciously. Just saying. Cool. So remember, this is a general read. It may not resonate for everybody. Every card that hits the table might not make sense now or later. But I would recommend to focus on your breath throughout the reading so that you're really present in the here and now. I will do the same so that you can really take what resonates and leave what doesn't. By being in the present moment, you're more in tune and in alignment with your own energy field and your chakras and all of their intuitive voices. Does that make sense? I think it do. So that being said, let's get down to business. All the decks that I read are in the description box at the very bottom. Go have a look on your way down. There's a lot of cool stuff in my description box, and I will call them out as we go. We're going to start with the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue to get the point of view of the angels. Shall we? Take a nice deep breath. Oh, my angels, please. 1 card in clarity for the Leo collective, sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra. What do they need to be aware of? What do they need to keep an eye out for? What is a clue, a tip, or a hint that they can keep an eye out for to help them navigate this new moon to full moon next, March to April 2020? Balance. Keep your balance. Now, that can be balance in all sorts of different ways. It's only the first card down out of 7, but we know what it's like to be out of balance. Usually, right? We know what that's about, though sometimes we don't catch it until we fall, so to speak, or someone points it out to us. You seem a little off today, right? Now, considering so many of us are self-isolating, let's just leave it there. We'll just call it that for the moment. A really good time to come into balance. So balance with with maybe your diet, with your exercise, the physical balance stuff, as well as the mental, emotional balance, that if you are, and we've been talking about this in some of the super chats, that it's okay to be afraid, but just love what rises, do the inner child work, breathe through it, don't repress it so much, particularly if you are a divine feminine, an empath, energy sensitive, like that. You're probably picking up on the collective fear and panic and terror of loss and how am I going to cope and my job and money and bills and all of that stuff. Not to mention the health of our loved ones, right? So you could be picking up on all of that. So keeping the mental emotional balance, right? Tricky. But also your spiritual balance. I forget who said it. It was so long ago, back in the 90s, but they said, "Don't be so spiritual that you're no earthly good," right? So up in the clouds that you're not grounded in your body and actually able to respond with love and do what you came here to do. It's wise guidance. I'm not the one who said it, but I think it's a pretty good rule of thumb. So let's move on to the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. This will be the voices of the goddesses, the collective divine feminine. Cool? Let's tune into this one. Nice deep breath for the Daughters of the Moon. My goddesses, please, there you are. One card in clarity for this Leo collective sun, moon, rising sign. For this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra, what do they need? What do they need to be aware of? What do they need to keep their eyes on for this new moon to full moon next March to April 2020? There we go. So remember, we've got balance, and we are adding to that the Hermit, the wise one, the crone in this deck, the Kaliach, right? Riding the gray horse over, I don't know if you could see it, over Stonehenge, or at least a stone circle, to pull back and pull up, to go within, of course, to recharge your batteries and perhaps to attain balance. So there's a nice clue, tip, hint right there. I mean, Virgo is, the Hermit card is often called the Virgo card, and I understand that because we're very good at going within and keeping that which is safe and sacred to us untouched by the world, like a virgin. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are in exile. This is going voluntarily. No one is dragged into hermitage. Hermitage is a choice, a decision that we make from time to time. And sometimes for many of us, that's how we live our lives. I do consider myself to have a very strong hermit archetype, really, because I'm Virgo with a Pisces moon, born on a full moon. I could totally be an introvert, but I have Mars conjunct Leo rising. Meow, which allows me to do this work. And also Venus conjunct Mercury, third house in Libra. That'll do it. Makes me a little chiacchierona, if you understand the Italian. So that thing of keeping in balance through the wise one, through the hermit, pull back, contemplate, meditate, go within, pull back, and many of us are sort of being forced into that. And if that's because of certain situations playing out on planet Earth, I'm leaving it there, then understand this is your part to do it willingly, to say, okay, then I'm going to utilize this hermit time of my own free will to bring myself into balance however that is needed. Pretty good. I like this so far. Let's ask the gods, the divine masculine collective, through the mythic tarot. Such a wonderful deck. I love this deck a lot. Oh, I love all my decks, otherwise I wouldn't use them for this work. So let's take a nice deep breath. Oh, I love my gods so much. My gods, please. One card in clarity for this Leo collective sun, moon, rising sign, which includes me. Because already I can feel this big time for myself. Please, one card in clarity for the Leo collective sun, moon, rising sign from this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra. What do they need? What do they need to know? What do they need to look at? What do they need to keep in mind? What do they need to keep their eyes open for this new moon to full moon next March to April 2020. By the way, if you watch me do this and that with my eyes, it's because my guides put new moon over there and full moon over there, and then they show me the energy wave that I'm actually reading, which is kind of cool. Clairvoyance for fun and profit. Three of Wands, very much a card of loyalty for me. Very much, and really in this, you see a king sort of offering his crown to Jason of Jason and the Argonauts in order to fulfill a quest given to him by Zeus to retrieve the golden fleece. So that thing of loyalty, you know, it's about desire. We get to choose who we want to be loyal to. Loyalty has always been a weird thing for me, because someone who wants you to be loyal to them and they're toxic, it's not that great. But it can very much have to do with priorities, and we're all having our priorities reshuffled now, aren't we? Yeah, we kind of are. So to me, here is my pecking order of loyalty. The gods first, then me, then friends and family, then work. And particularly with what we're going on right now, which is why I did that quickie video about unpinning from time. As much as I love doing these recordings and streaming on social media and reaching out to people that way, when I get a text message, a phone call, or a Facebook message for somebody in panic needing me to help them, that's a top priority in that moment. Everything else, in other words, I didn't come in just to do videos. I didn't come in just to do YouTube. I came in to serve humanity. And when someone reaches out to me directly that way, I kind of have to drop everything. But my day starts with prayer, spiritual practice. I shower, I shave, I do my yoga, I do everything I'm supposed to do, have my coffee. Are you kidding? It's my last addiction left is coffee. I have nothing else left but coffee. Not giving it up. You'll have to pry my coffee away from my cold, dead hands. Whatever. Hopefully they will be revived with a good cup of coffee. But once I get those in place, then really I'm here to serve. So I have to make sure that I do my own self-care, not always through hermitage, but that my loyalty, that Three of Wands, is a nice solid foundation for me. The gods first, the divine, then me, then friends and family, and then whatever else I have to do. And I've been trying to live that way, and I actually learned that from a book called In the Meantime by Iyanla Van Zandt. Yes, that's Iyanla Fix My Life, Iyanla Van Zandt, bless her soul. I learned a lot from her in that book. I'm a reader, not just of cards, of books. Can you imagine people still read books? This is the new deck. Ooh, how exciting. The new deck that I picked up in Saratoga Springs when I was visiting my family, getting my new car, from the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs. It was good to see them. The place was deserted. Nobody touched anybody, right? Didn't even touch, just kind of like used my elbow to get in the door. So I'm kind of digging this deck, but it's a little forward. Maybe a card will come up where you see why it's like, whoa, excuse you, right? So this is called, oh, and I have the box here, Angels, Goddesses, and Gods by Tony Carmine Salerno. I always give credit where credit is due, and I found a link to it, and I put it in the description box. And because it starts with A, it's at the top of the list. I'm a Virgo. What do you want? Nice deep breath. Because what I like about this is, because I already did Angels, Goddesses, and Gods, it's you'll see how the deck works. It's cool. It like consolidates it. Like this plus this plus this equals, sorta. My angels, gods, and goddesses, please. One card in clarity for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising signs, myself included, for this new moon in Aries to full moon in Libra, please. What does this Leo collective need to keep an eye out for? What do we need? What do we need to know? What do we need to see? What do we need to be aware of for this new moon to full moon next March to April? Let's see what we got here. The Angel of Vision, which does make sense with the Hermit, because when we hermit, we often pull ourselves out of our routines and we begin to see things differently. The Angel of Vision, someone is revealing part of the story. Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say. Oh, I mean, somebody lying or withholding the truth, what's called a sin of omission. Someone is not revealing part of the story. That is a sin of omission. Trust your feelings over what others say. Now, here's what I'm getting about this, is that this is deliberate, that if someone is withholding information, it's out of their own fear. Melchior! Sorry, my cat's trying to break out of the house. He can't open the door. He's just headbutting the screen door. It's my Melky. Should have our own TV show. That's my Melky. So we've got this balance here, which really indicates that maybe something is out of balance for us, Leo. Like maybe we're operating on a half-truth or not the whole truth. And so to pull back, to hermitize ourselves, right? To pull back, to see things from perhaps a more distant point of view, to go deeper in and higher up. Oh, my cats are being assholes. Because there is probably an issue of loyalty at hand. And what could that be about? Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say, which is a direct correlation to this card of the Hermit. To go within, to pull back, to disconnect energetically from those who you may be. You know, being a working mother is hard on anybody, but when you have 3 rambunctious little black cat boys, my wife, I don't know how she does it. You really have to be of a certain age to get that reference. It's from a Geritol commercial. Does Geritol still exist? My wife, I don't know how she does it. Beats the kids every day. Really bad humor from the 70s. I think that was Saturday Night Live. Anyway, let's ask the higher selves of all involved. Lord knows my higher self and I have been canoodling on the regular. Oh, I'm gonna have to get. Oh, ready? They hate the drag fans. Oh, this feels so nice though. Oh, look, it's my wind machine. Oh, that'll keep them away. Never work with animals or children, said W.C. Fields. Google who W.C. Fields is if you're not familiar. Nice deep breath. Here we go. The higher selves of all involved, mine included, please. One card in clarity for the Leo collective, sun, moon, rising signs for this new moon in Aries, I see it, to full moon next in Libra. Please, what does the Leo collective need to know? What do we need? What do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of? And so far, you're showing us that we need to be aware that something is out of balance here, that we may be moving forward without all of the relevant information, possibly deception, possibly a loyalty issue, to be loyal to our own guidance and our own grace. Right? Trust your feelings over what others say. So please, the higher selves of all involved, mine included. What is the Whisper of Love from the Whisper of Love Oracle for the Leo collective? This new moon to full moon next, March to April 2020. This is tricky. The union of hearts. There is a connection of love that defies explanation. So look, this may not be so much the deception as just that someone's not ready to reveal. Someone is not revealing part of the story. There might be a soul contract in play here where someone is not communicating themselves clearly, but I do get that out of fear. I will say that there have been times in my life where I've been in relationships with people, and I think part of it is because of, maybe it is my Leo rising, but that people have sexual romantic feelings for me and they don't tell me, and that's fine, but then I get this weird feeling sometimes, just like, what's going on? Like, people get leaky and weird. You don't know how many times women, look, I'm a gay male, where women say, I had a dream about you last night. I'm like, it wasn't me, it's what you had for dinner, right? I've come right out to say to someone, you know what we both have in common? We both like dick, right? Just leave it on the dance floor, right? It's not going to happen, right? But it could be something like that, where somebody is having feelings, or maybe you're having feelings for someone that you really need to pull back and bring yourself into balance, because that can be torturous. That can not just lead to unrequited love, but can lead to a real schism within your energy field, where the heart says yes, but the mind says no, and the throat chakra can't balance that out. It's like the card of the Lovers, bringing the masculine and the feminine together. So if the union of hearts, there is a connection of love that defies explanation. Nothing more crazy making than a connection of love that defies explanation. In other words, you go, why am I in love with this person? Why? And, you know, this doesn't have to be a sexual romantic thing, although it's two dryads making out. Dryads are tree spirits, darlings. But it certainly could be that. And that is the feeling that I get, that someone's withholding. Or perhaps there's been a loyalty issue where someone is not really being loyal to themselves or to you. Something to keep an eye out for this new moon to full moon next. We have 2 more cards down. Let's see if this elucidates and clarifies for you. Ready? We're going to use the Love Pack by Chuck Spezzano. 4 suits in one deck. The suit of the problem, the suit of the grace, the suit of the healing, and the suit of the luck. Ready? Breathe. My Ascended Masters, please, 1 card. There you are, in clarity. For this Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising Sign Collective, what is it that we need to know about this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra? What is it we need to keep an eye for? What do we need? What do we need to be aware of moving forward for this new moon to full moon next? March to April 2020. Defensiveness. Now, this deck does not look at defensiveness in terms of healthy boundaries. There are other cards that can certainly speak to that in that deck, in like self-worth, right? Things like that. Defensiveness is when we have our dukes up. Here we've got a guy up in a tower. Not only is he up in a tower, it's fortified with cannons, and he's got a rifle. It's a little overkill, right? So perhaps we are dealing with not our own defensiveness, but if you have been overly defensive, stop it, Melky. Oh, he's really being, like, annoying tonight. I love him, though. We'll snuggle later. But that thing of, like, defensiveness, if you're trying to defend yourself, and you know what, there's so much defensiveness in the air right now, to really take a look at that when you're walking around with your dukes up or waiting for the next calamity to happen, forget about law of attraction for a hot second. Look at what you're doing to your nervous system. All of that fear, all of that tension, it's not good for the immune system. It's not good for your energy system. And really what that is the fear of the child within the heart, right? Doesn't know what to do, so it defaults to fight or flight, which is the limbic brain, right? Which is the reptilian brain. It's that animal part of us that really can throw us off of what? Balance. Can throw us off balance. So it does make sense to pull back, but do address and look at your defensiveness, because it might be your defensiveness that is causing someone to withhold some of the truth. Someone is not revealing part of the story. Well, if you're walking around with your dukes up out of fear, people will almost naturally not want to tell you the tea, not want to tell you the truth of what's going on, for fear that you might overreact and attack by being defensive. So thankfully, we have got this last card down, a healing mantra deck card from Matt Kahn. If you are not familiar with this deck, there's not a lot written on them. There's on one side the mantra itself, the other side of the card the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in the book, and there's like a little paragraph in here. But I have found these extremely helpful in my own personal life, my own personal practice, and in my own personal path. So let's ask the Ascended Masters, who, by the way, gave us this card of defensiveness, that maybe they can clarify this, and then I will put all the pieces together as best I can, right? With their help, obviously. Nice deep breath. Here we go. My Ascended Masters, please, 1 card in clarity for the Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs. Please, my Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra for this Leo Collective from this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra, March to April 2020? Please, my Ascended Masters, the perfect healing mantra for us down here in the game. Let's see who we got here. Interesting. Creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play, including yourself. That there's something uncooperative going on here, that perhaps there is some hoarding of information, right? That's what a sin of omission is you are omitting pieces of the truth, and it is at worst a very toxic trait. Or a means of manipulating somebody, right? By not telling them the whole truth, only partial, which can throw somebody off balance. Really pay attention to your intuition here. Really pull back with the Hermit and try and see this. Well, have I been ultra defensive? Because this Union of Hearts card definitely speaks of a love here, that there is a connection of love that defies explanation. So to do this mantra that more gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play, this might very well open up lines of communication. Let me read it to you in the book. I mean, I work alone, so there's not a whole lot of cooperation in my life except with the technology and the Wi-Fi and the cats. They're already fed too. That's why they're bouncing around. They behave more before I feed them than after. Cats. Creating cooperation. More gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play. When cooperation is created, the unity of all is access to accomplish more in one moment than any one person can do alone. As a creator of cooperation, you are giving others the right to contribute. You get that? You're giving people the right to contribute, which only broadens the effect of collective expression. Once cooperation is created, all facades of competition melt away, allowing each individual to feel a renewed depth of self-worth by serving a vision greater than any degree of individual gain. So this might be a competition for energy. Go read Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield. A little bit of a tug of war, a little bit of a power struggle, but with this card, Union of Hearts, that this is somebody that you love or that loves you, and there might be that fear, that upper hand thing of not wanting to reveal the whole picture, maybe because there's more emotions there, there's more feelings there than they are letting on. And so to cooperate, which means to operate together. This mantra is ideal for enhancing teamwork, makes sense. Transforming family dynamics, so this could very well be a family member, and increasing inner peace because you're not taking it all on yourself. So let's string this together. Well, I'm going to start with this angel of vision, right? Someone is not revealing part of the story. Trust your feelings over what others say, and that is certainly backed up by this card of the Hermit, the wise one, she who rides alone, riding over, seeing the larger picture from above. That there may very well be a loyalty issue here, and a foundational one that is knocking perhaps everyone off balance, or maybe this creating of cooperation will facilitate this balance of power, because there is a union of hearts here, a love that defies explanation, but there is this element of defensiveness that someone might feel they will be attacked if they are vulnerable. So think of someone dropping their defenses. What are they being? They are being vulnerable. If there is an area of cooperation, more gets accomplished when everyone has a role to play, then that is certainly going to facilitate more ease and grace in the relationship, and then more pieces of the puzzle can be put out on the table more willingly, rather than having to forcibly extricate it by browbeating through manipulation. But certainly if someone is, and people, it's different than lying, a sin of omission. I didn't create the term. Lying is when you are deliberately distorting the truth. But when you catch people in omission, they say, well, I didn't lie. It's like, yeah, but you didn't tell the truth either, right? Can you feel that? It's an honor thing, going back to this Three of Wands, right? This honor, this loyalty thing. And ultimately, when somebody does that, who they're really hurting is themselves, because they are not able to come from a place where their conduct is in alignment with their highest truth of their highest self. So, my Leos, may you all be blessed. May, myself included, may the Leo collective, sun, moon, rising signs be blessed with all that we need. This new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra, March to April 2020, that we may heal, that we may come into balance, that we may take the time that we need to see things differently, that we may reassess our loyalty structures, and that we get the angel of vision, that we may connect with the angel of vision to see things from this higher place and see truth that perhaps someone has been withholding, so that we can connect with this union of hearts, drop our defenses, and create cooperation between us all for the well-being of all, my angels, my gods, my goddesses, my higher selves, and our ascended masters. Please, may we be so blessed. Thank you. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, my Leos, for watching. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell while I unpin from time. You never know when I'm going to put something out. I'm going to do my best to do the 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. super chats just to be in support. We're doing card draws, we're doing prayer, we're doing meditation. We did some inner child work today, introductory stuff only. So if you hit that notification bell, you will get a notification when I put out new content. Cool, cool. In the meantime, thank you so very much. May you be blessed with the very best of this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra. But for now, my sweethearts, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.